Let's start with basic functionality, how to create a partition with NPIV adapters or vSCSI disks. This is the main menu where you have to select the specific function, and we're gonna go for build DL partition. As you can see, the regular herb is available for every function. In order to create the logical partition, you have to follow the steps in sequence. So you see the first step is to select the physical server. Next step, we're gonna select a virtual I/O server, which will be provisioning the NPIV adapters to the SAN network. Specify number of virtual adapters. One may be for disk, and you can select the physical port, and the second might be for tape, so we're gonna select the different physical port to the SAN network. The same for the second VIOS, so we're gonna select the other port on the second VIOS, and we're gonna go for step number 3, which is defining the logical partition parameters. We have to specify name, of course. Some parameters, they are already predefined, but there is always a way how you can override them. There is a prompt when the plus is available, so you can specify the shared processor pool, the processing capacity, the number of CPU, virtual processors, memory, minimum and maximum values. They are already suggested, but you can also override them. In the end, we're going to specify number of virtual Ethernet adapters, which will be talking to the network through the shared Ethernet adapter. So this is the summary screen before you create the partition. So you have to hit F10 in order to create the partition. In very short time, the partition will be created. So that's the screen how you can see from the HMC. When you go to the partition profile setup, you can see that all parameters which we define in the green screen, they are the values which the partition has. Number of CPU, memory, virtual adapters, and in the end you can see that TAC IO, they are also already completed. Let's see now how the vSCSI partition with vSCSI adapters and disk can be created. So again, select the physical server, select the virtual I/O servers, define a number of vSCSI adapters, and you have to select the SCSI disk which are already provisioned to the VIOS. Use await to see parameters of the specific LAN, like line ID on the storage array. In this example, we decided to use two vSCSI adapters, so select disk for one adapter and the other disk for the second adapter, and again we have to select the parameters of the partition. These are, of course, not all parameters which you can specify for the logical partition, but these are the most important in order to create quickly the logical partition. So in the end, again, select the virtual Ethernet adapters, hit F10 and create the partition. In the summary screen, user can always come back and modify the parameters if something is incorrect. Otherwise, he can go forward and create. So as you see in the hardware management console, the partition was created with all the parameters in the partition profile, number of memory or CPUs exactly as we created, and the number of virtual adapters as well.